Hello everyone, I'm Baruffy1322 and welcome to episode 39 of the
Yeehaw,
Chalky
brothers, it's out! Woo! It's out. All right. We got the cowboy game, all right? We got the cowboy game. We did it. It came out. It came out and I'm so excited.
We got rooting, shooting, cowboy shooting part
Yes.
part
It's
2.
gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I'm
It
super
is great.
happy.
What do you mean it's gonna be great? It's out. You just exclaimed. You exclaimed to the heavens that it's out. Let him finish the intro.
I mean, what's the point? I might as well just exit the room and you guys can do the podcast for yourselves.
That's fine. That's fine. Look, I'll just sit here. I'll just look. I played with toy guns my whole childhood. Train me for this, okay? Train me. I'm ready for this
I will
game.
say, for any of our listeners, you should go and watch the first minute of the video to see what Nos was doing.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, don't skip immediately to the chokes this time. Go and see what Nos was doing at the start.
Man.
So welcome to episode 39 of the Choking Hazard podcast. We are going to be talking about that cowboy game that is finally out, Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm here with my usual co-host, Sugar-Free Nos, who's very excited,
Howdy.
it seems.
Howdy, brothers. Whoa. Howdy.
And he's got his cowboy hat back on. And RDT
I
as
don't
well.
just have the cowboy hat, okay?
Cheers.
Cowboy outfit, okay? Look, cowboy boots, all right?
Damn.
I'm ready.
It's
Oh,
the Nos
God.
show. This is
Ready.
it.
We're not making it to episode 40, are we?
No, I don't think so.
No.
So
Nos is just gonna hijack this whole thing.
you don't want to dilly dally about, right? You want to actually get this done and out the door within an hour, so you can go back to playing Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I was playing it right up until we started.
You for those who watch the pre-show, which is available right now for those who are watching on YouTube for Patreon supporters, and it'll be up next week for everybody on the second channel. You'll see RDT is basically just the whole way through looking at the screen playing Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, sorry.
So I'm going to start. Let's start with scores. Out of 10, I'll say
11.
out of 100%. 100%.
110%.
No, you can't. That doesn't
Yes,
exist.
I can. You can. You don't make the rules here. I'm the cowboy. I make the rules.
Andy T, where are you at?
Like, okay, if this was like an exam, what are we saying? Like 100 questions, 1%
Yeah.
per question. I'm gonna say 94. 94%.
Oh, interesting.
It's close. I have a few gripes about the game that we'll get into, but it's amazing.
I'm interested to hear your gripes because I value your opinion on this game.
Oh, thank you.
Unlike the other people on the show, I don't really value their opinion, but
Well, I would give it a 6%. I'm joking.
I was about to just leave. Also, we're not even halfway through the game yet, so
I'm not even past chapter 2 yet.
Yeah, I'm the furthest, I think,
Yeah.
for story in chapter 3. But
I
yeah.
haven't even got Micah, whatever his name is, out of jail in chapter 2.
Spoilers, bro.
Spoilers already. No, not
Well,
even.
it's not a spoiler because I haven't done it yet, so that's the sum total of what I know.
We should say, if you're watching this, and I'm not going to say anything past chapter 2, but if you're like not looking for any story whatsoever, there are going to be spoilers. So,
Yeah, there will be minor spoilers. There won't be like story arc spoilers, but there may be some vague accounting of stranger missions that I've done or anything. That's what I want to talk about. So,
Yeah, it's not going to. We're not going to give any major story spoilers because we haven't got that far in the game yet. So
when John dies, like, we're not going to tell you about that. We're not going to tell you, stuff like that. But
so how has it lived up to your expectations going into it? You were at a level of expectation. You've been looking. You two especially have been looking forward to it for so long. How has it met those expectations?
I think it's exceeded. them.
It has. Okay.
I agree.
Yes, I mean it's actually really difficult to put into words because I really, really love the game. I think it's amazing. but at the same time, there's just something about it that just feels a little off to me, but it's not enough for me not. I don't know. It's so weird. I can't even describe it. And but I think it might be if I was to try to put my foot on it or my finger on it. I don't know why I would put my foot on it.
I'll put my foot on it if you need.
Put your foot down.
Yeah.
Is that I was so expecting it to feel and like play and control the same way that Red Dead Redemption did, that the changes, it's taken me a little bit of time to get used to it. So I was like,
yeah,
I'm not familiar with it. It seems like I'm writing with my left hand. I'm like, this is weird. I'm getting it done, and I can still do everything, but it just feels off.
Isn't that? I feel like I get that impression whenever I play any new game these days. Apart from maybe like racing games, like I always feel games are getting so complicated and complex and so many things to do that I just get lost a little bit at the start of these things. I feel like that's the same thing with any game, but because there's so much stuff in Red Dead Redemption 2, it kind of makes it a little bit worse. It just muddies the waters even more of just wanting to. I know what you mean. Like there's just something that it feels a little bit weird. Like the first parts of the game, just getting into it, and it feels like even though I'm halfway through chapter 2 or however long I am through chapter 2, I'm still doing like a big tutorial at the moment.
Yeah, that's what I was saying when I was in your streamer earlier yesterday. I was like, it feels like you're just in a tutorial for a little while as you get used to things. But yeah.
Well, I have to say, because I think we all know that Nos is going to love the game and say nothing bad about it, and it's 100%
That's not true.
perfect. Okay, well, that'll be interesting to see. But I have to say that it has also exceeded my expectations.
You had no expectations.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. To be fair,
we were talking about this. I don't like cowboys
on the stream the other day. Is that Red Dead Redemption, the original one, was like it the expectation that I had for Red Dead Redemption to blow me away made it worse when it didn't. Like, it was a good game, and I was kind of like, okay, yeah, it was a good game. I enjoyed it, but it didn't make, it wasn't one of my best games of all time or anything. And then, but because everyone had said how good it was, that when that didn't happen, it made it feel even worse to me, because I felt like I should be liking it more than what I am. So when I went into Red Dead Redemption 2, I was half expecting not to like it just because of that experience from the first game. And I have to say that the start of, even though it's slow paced, and it is very slow paced, I found it so much more entertaining and interesting, the first part of the game, in comparison to what I did for Red Dead 1. All of that like farm work that you did at the start of Red Dead, I got so it almost lost me then. But I found the start of this game so much more entertaining. It did keep me a hell of a lot more engaged, even though it is very slow paced. I still enjoyed it. So that was a surprise to me. That sort of, I guess I'm more positive than what I thought I would be. Nos?
I'm glad.
Your expectations were very high.
This game has been the greatest experience I've ever had in gaming so far. I got into it, and here's how I knew that this game was where I needed it to be. Okay, so in Red Dead Redemption, I could shoot a man's hat off by accident from 3 miles away with my left hand. Okay, that's how common hat shots were. What's the first thing that I did on that first enemy that you shoot at? Pew! And their hat's gone. All right, I knew I was there. I knew I had arrived. I had arrived at the promised land. Okay, I have come. So I have come to a higher plane of existence in video gaming. Okay, it's great. I don't know. I think the most surprising thing to me, or not surprising, but the best thing about it And it shows you this like really early in the game. It feels like Rockstar went into their entire back catalog of their games and took the best elements from each one of them and put them in this game. So, for instance, the combat is a good mix of like Max Payne 3 and Red Dead Redemption in terms of feel.
The combat is incredible, I've got to say. The gunplay.
The combat is incredible. The way that you explore houses and pick up items and look at items, that's straight from LA Noire. The light dialogue system you have, that's from Bully. There's just a lot of elements, and the customization as well. The horse, the clothing, the weapons. That is GTA 5's customization turned up to 11, I think, in terms of not necessarily the amount of customization for anything, but the level that you can do. Whether you can have your sleeves down or rolled up, or your pants in your boots, out of your boots. All this different customization. It really just takes everything from their whole back catalog and takes the best parts of all of those games and puts them into this. And that's what's allowed it to live up to what I needed from it.
Even Red Dead, even San Andreas as well, with having to eat and gaining weight and losing weight.
Yeah. Now I want to just to get into the gaining and losing weight. People are like, you gotta eat, that's a chore. I don't want to eat. Okay, not eating is a valid choice. Okay, I don't know if many people know this. If you are underweight, you get buffs to your stamina and your speed, and if you are overweight, you get buffs to your health and negative effects to your stamina. So it is a choice whether you want to be underweight, average, or overweight. It's not just you don't eat, negative effects, that's it. It is a choice. It is a tactical choice whether you want to be faster or have more health. It's not.
We probably missed that in one of the tooltips.
What?
Yeah, we'll come on to that. So it has it exceeded your expectations, or has it met your very high expectations in the first place?
In terms of combat, it has exceeded my expectations. Everywhere else, it has met them. I knew that the one thing that would make this game what I needed it to be was the combat, and they blew it away. And it's great. So everything else fell into place after that, I feel.
Interesting.
Okay. The combat yet, I have to say, and I'm not a giant fan of it.
Have you messed with any of your settings?
No. Why should
that's
I?
your problem. Yeah.
I haven't messed with any of my settings, but that's not a legitimate reason to.
Yeah,
There's your problem. You shouldn't have to mess with settings to have a good gameplay experience.
What are you talking about? You should just go into every video game with your default mouse sensitivity and try to play it? No. I mean, you can adjust sensitivity settings. I mean, what I did, I took the reticle, you can take it down to just a small dot, like it was in Red Dead. I did that. And then I upped the aiming sensitivity, killed the dead zones, and halved the aim assist level so that I could quickly get headshots, just like in Red Dead Redemption. And it's great. It feels just like I needed it to.
It just feels a bit stiff to me. I don't know why.
It's just probably because your sensitivities. I felt the stock sensitivity was really low. Honestly, I turned it up quite a bit.
Mm. And you were mentioning how they brought back elements from other games, and I just wish, I just wish the hand-to-hand combat was better.
Really, I like it.
It's so rudimentary, like it was in GTA 5. Even if they had brought back the bully combat system or the San Andreas, even the GTA 4 combat hand-to-hand.
Yeah, now I would agree with you that there could be more there could be combos and stuff. There could be more depth to it. I was like,
hold this button, then you dodge, and then you just kick them in the leg. It's a lot better than GTA 5, where you just do the same left hook, right hook combo every single time. But I feel like you could go more in depth with it, like you did with literally everything else in the game.
Yeah, but I'll agree. I'll agree with that.
But hold on, just one more gripe. Last episode or whatever episode we were talking about Red Dead, which is a lot of them. I mentioned how I liked when you shot somebody in the leg, they limped away. I tried doing that, and I didn't experience that in this. I don't know if I'm not doing it right, shooting them in the right place, but I
haven't
liked
tried
being
that,
able to
actually.
cripple someone.
Yeah. Interesting.
No, I've noticed it does do that. Like,
Oh, I'll tell you
it's
about a
usually with-
story about the combat later.
Quite often you see, like, if you shoot somebody in the shoulder, they'll peel back to the side, and it's really good. It's really well done.
Yeah,
Maybe I've not
the
been
euphoria
paying close enough
physics,
attention.
man, in this game. Oh my goodness, sliding down hills, it just.
Oh, not to mention the Sniper Elite slow-mo bullet time thing.
Yeah.
No, when
love
you
that.
kill someone. Is it something that do you have to do something in particular to activate that, or is it just a random? It seems like it's
I
a
think
random.
it's random. I think it'll probably be more likely with headshots. I get that camera quite a bit. So because I'm a rootin' tootin' shooting
He's a
amazing cowboy, okay?
God. How many times you drink every time Nas pulls out his revolver?
I will get you very drunk. All right, look, I've had this talent since I was 10, okay? I got to show it to somebody.
Here we go.
How are you feeling playing it on console, Nos? You know, you PC maniac.
I mean, I would much prefer it to be on PC, but it's a gorgeous looking game that runs at an acceptable level. So,
Wow,
An acceptable.
I never thought I
level.
would hear Nos call 30 FPS acceptable.
well,
Yeah.
I mean, as long as it doesn't drop, as long as I'm not, now if you play on an Xbox One, no, you're not having an acceptable experience. Okay, at like 280p, 20 FPS masterpiece.
I'm on a
over
One
Xbox
X.
One.
So,
Yeah, now the One X is the best way to play it. The Xbox One X runs at native 4K. And
Did
the
you see
PS4
the
Pro is
comparison,
like
the
that.
Digital Foundry comparison?
Yes, I did.
On
I did.
the standard editions, the textures are actually lower, and so it is a legitimately worse experience, but it's still beautiful, of course. But on the Pro and the Xbox One X, the texture, they have higher resolution textures, but because the One X is running it natively at 4K, it looks even better, and the frame rate dips that you may get very rarely on the PS4 Pro, they just don't happen at all on the One X. Like it's the first game really, I think, where the One X has really shown its superiority from a platform power perspective.
I would agree with that. But the textures are higher on the Xbox One X. The PS4 gets to see the textures first because things come out first. So it's
only a few little clothing items and stuff, isn't it? It's not actual content,
sure.
right?
I don't know. It depends on if they. I don't know. It depends on if they release more stuff that's timed exclusive or not. I'm not sure.
So before we get into the actual gameplay portion of it, can we just talk about how beautiful it is?
Oh my God. And I know I said in a previous episode where like we can't say, the game looks great because that's every game.
Yeah,
this
every game's meant to be great now. Yeah,
so nice.
But
And this
does blow
game,
you away.
I mean, what surprised me, I can see no downgrades like from the trailers. The game looks exactly like the trailers.
Yeah.
Exactly like them. And that, I mean, how many other games have you seen that look just beautiful and stunning in the trailer, all these visual effects, and then you get to the game and everything's dumbed down and terrible, like GTA 5, for instance. GTA 5 doesn't look nearly as good as they wanted to make it out to look, in the trailers. I think Red Dead looks exactly like the trailers, exactly like it.
Yeah, the snow was amazing at the start. I think that was perfect starting you there, and you just see the deformation of that and the views that you have at certain points of the game. It's just remarkable.
Dude, when you're like standing in the sun and the beams are like translucent on your
ears and nose. I saw that. I was like, this game's stupid. This game's so dumb. Like,
yeah, that is ridiculous. But then, like, when you think back to even GTA 5, which was 5 years ago, and even Red Dead Redemption 1, there was times when I was playing through my playthrough of that and thinking, wow, this is beautiful. So, it's good to see that Rockstar have kind of continued that skill and ability that they have to produce the highest quality of, game from a graphical perspective.
So dense, too. Yeah. It's like everything. there are spots in Red Dead 1 that's just open desert, and you're like, all right, yeah.
Yeah.
How hard could this have been? This is just packed with stuff.
Yeah,
It's
there's stuff
awesome.
everywhere.
You pick any direction, turn in it, and walk. You're finding something compelling to do within 5 minutes at the very most. Like if you go 5 minutes in this game and you are not doing something compelling, then you must be standing still. And even then, someone will find you and make you do something.
Yeah.
And what was it? I lost what I was going to say then. I was literally going, God damn it.
Dang, damn it.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's beautiful, but what about when it comes to like sort of the missions that we've done so far, at least? How do you feel about the missions? Because it feels like missions have always been a thing for Rockstar games where they've been the thing that's easily criticizable, because it's sort of go to point A, do the thing, go to point B, fetch a thing, that sort of thing. How do you feel the missions have been in comparison?
So far,
to
I've really enjoyed every one that I've played. I mean, I would say every one of them have had a variety of different things to do, and depending on your play style, you could do them in many different ways. And there's player choice in the missions as well. Slight spoilers. There's a mission where you go with another character to rob a house. Have you done this mission? To get a stagecoach from the barn. RDT, you've done this mission, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm way ahead of you guys. So
he's way ahead of us. Have you done that one? All right, we haven't done that mission. Anyway, when you get to the mission, you get a choice. Do you want to break in at night, or do you want to distract them and go in during the day? So right off the bat, 2 different experiences, right?
Yeah.
Which is great. And then the depth of the game, this mission really showcases the depth of the game as well. So I chose the day because I wanted the buddy to distract. I went in the back door and I was, looking through the cabinets, and I was, I thought to myself, I'll close them back up because, that's what I should do, right? Well, I started running out of time, and I was like, it's a video game. I'll just leave them open. Nothing will happen, right? So you get to the end of the mission, you're going away on the stagecoach, and as you're driving by, Paul, somebody's been in your chest. And Arthur's like, man, I must have left the dresser open as you go by. So there are.
I did that mission just before the podcast, and I went through and closed all of the things. And when Arthur got onto the stagecoach, and when Hosea got in, he goes, "Yeah, I made sure I closed up. It looks like nobody's been in there." So they've changed all the dialogue and everything for it.
It's amazing.
Oh, I've had that experience too.
Yeah, you have.
On the train.
The train.
And I went along, and someone jumped out at my partner, and then everyone in the chat said, "Oh wow, he jumped out at me because I was in front." And it's like, and the dialogue changes, the animations are all different. Everything is the attention to detail within, the world that they've created is stunning. And that's what I was going to say earlier. It's like the sense of scale that you have in this world, especially because you're on horseback and you can only go at a certain speed across it as well. And you're in this sort of, you can be in this tiny little... I think I first had that feeling in the very first part of the game, where you're sort of going down a hill to one of the first places that you attack. And you just realize that this is some tiny bit of area with some buildings in it that feels big as you're walking along it. And it's this tiny little portion of this entire map, and it's all so detailed. And it's impressive. It's not just beautiful, but it's detailed and thorough with everything that it does.
The map they've added to the game would be enough for its own game.
Oh my god.
The map that they've added. And then you have Blackwater and everything else too.
Dude, if you take your cursor, at least for me right now, because I'm not going into Blackwater, that area, and just go down to what's undiscovered, you don't see anything that I've already been to. It's crazy.
For one of the missions, you have to go across to Blackwater, right? To start one of the missions. And I cross the river, and I look up to my right, and it's Broken Tree. It's Broken Tree, but it's not broken. because it's 11 years ago. It's like I know that tree, and I go to the tree, and the wall is reconstructed. Like the wall is solid.
I like how
instead of
Nas
broken.
is
Like,
acting
it's-
like this is his life and he's been there. He's like, that's the
Yeah.
house that I grew up in. That's,
Yeah.
that's it.
I can't wait. And I've only been into the Great Plains. I haven't been all these places I want to go explore and see what they're like. And then there's all this new stuff to explore in this gigantic city that's industrialized.
Oh yeah, I still haven't even been to Saint Denis. Like,
I've been there. And this will just tell you the kind of gameplay that you can make yourself. I'll tell you this small story. So there's a mission. You have a good time at a bar. You end up far away from your horse, right? So you're near a train station. So I go to the train station. First off, right there's a stranger who tells you about one of the collectibles in the game. Okay, that's fun.
the
So
cigarette cards? Is that what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the train comes by, and I hop on the train. Like, oh, maybe this will take me back to Valentine. It doesn't. Train keeps going and I'm just looking out at these beautiful vistas, and you see it starts off kind of foresty, and then you move into kind of more plains area, and then it looks like I'm getting into the bayou. There's water everywhere, willow trees, everything, and then I look this way and I see gigantic factories and smoke coming out of these smokestacks in the city. And it's just amazing, and I thought, oh, this will be just like 3 blocks. This city is like humongous, and there's different areas of the city, and when it's night, the lighting is completely different and beautiful, and this game, I just.
It makes me genuinely happy how excited you are about this.
Well, it feels like you're part of the world. Like in GTA 5, you are not allowed to be part of the world. Okay, the NPCs
you're
have a
this
disposition
outcast.
to hate you. Yeah, they will. If you stand beside an NPC too long, they'll punch you for no reason. In Red Dead Redemption 2, I feel like that Morgan is no important than anybody else walking on the street. He's no more important than any of those characters that are you walk past them, they hey, how you doing, or you bump into them and like back off, and then they keep walking. It's just
I feel like
part of the
it does
world.
say that, like, it does speak volumes that the 8 years that they've been working on this since the first game has really made an incredible world. I feel like that's because I haven't even sort of gotten past, obviously I'm still at not even halfway through chapter 2 or whatever. I haven't really explored either. I'm just following the story, so I don't feel like I've seen anything, and I've got so much of the map still to do. There's the big city that I know about. There's all the old map that is still there from the first game, which is remarkable. And then the detail that goes in with that. They've created a wonderful world, and I think that is probably the best part about the game. Is world that they've created, the world that they put you into, and the feeling that they give you within that world, that you're just another guy experiencing it with everybody else. I feel like that's the main, great point of the game. It is so
because I mean the entire idea of the game is like you're only as strong as the gang, and the gang is only as strong as its members, and that kind of goes out into the world where individually you're insignificant, but together you're strong. So the fact that you're out there just roaming around in the random city and feeling like, oh, well, I'm kind of lost here doing nothing. I think that translates well into what they were trying to get the player to feel in the game. Yeah.
It works on a thematic level as well. So it is incredibly immersive. Does it delve into the realms of being too much? Because, and as an example, I wouldn't have known that horse testicles shrink in the cold unless there'd been an article telling me about it. That,
True.
To me, doesn't add any gameplay value whatsoever to program that. And I feel like there's quite a bit in this game that either doesn't add any value to the game or the gameplay that I'm experiencing.
See,
or
okay, listen. You know what you are?
God.
You're a why guy.
Nos,
Okay, I'm a why not guy, and you're a why guy, and I don't like why guys. You gotta ask yourself why not.
Now, my why would be, instead of programming these horse testicles to react to weather, maybe you gotta spend a little bit more money on the script. If I have to hear it's a big country or we need more money to get out of here one more time, I swear to God, I am going to
Well, maybe
flip.
if the rest of the gang contributed it and Arthur wasn't the only one doing things, okay?
Nice.
Micah's off just pew, 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 killing people. John's still almost dead for some reason. Like, get over it, okay? It's just a couple wolves. Right.
And that's the other thing. I'm sorry. We're going to go off the rails a bunch of times during this podcast, but I think Rockstar should just leave any past characters alone. I am upset at the way that John got his scar. I thought that was lame. And the way that they're setting him up, he's like this little pussy. Like, right now, he's not very impressive. He's not the John Marston that we know from Red Dead Redemption.
That's
it's like,
we're going to see him.
I know, I get
that.
it, but still, like, just come on, it's like an Anakin situation, and Jack's no better. Jack is just annoying. They went right into Jack.
But see,
you
Jack
hated him
has
there,
the
you can
right
hate
to be
him now.
annoying because he's not a young man. He's an actual child, and children are annoying. Okay, the problem with Jack in the first game was that he acted like a small child, even though he was 16. Now he's actually a small child.
Have you gotten to the fishing mission yet?
Yes, I did.
I haven't.
I love that one.
He's like, you're making a necklace? What are you, a daughter? What are you doing, Jack? Come on.
Leave him alone. All right.
So there was a bit just before the podcast where I was in camp and I looked over and Jack was sitting throwing stones at my horse. Little bastard. He was just sitting there throwing stones at a horse.
I'm
And
gonna
Abigail went up to him goes, what are you doing? He goes, I'm killing O'Driscolls. Like, I was like, fuck off, you little bitch. Just go. This is no place for a child. Go away.
Get out of here. Yeah, I'm gonna antagonize him every time I see him now. Because I can't take it.
But like, is it because I felt on many occasions during the game overwhelmed with the amount of stuff that there is to do, and I feel like there are various aspects to it that don't necessarily need to be as, like, they're pushing for this is ultra realistic, ultra immersion, maximum level that you can get, but there were moments during it where things that were meant to make me do that made me feel like, ugh, this is just too much. I just don't want to do this. I don't want to have to do all of these things. And to a certain extent, to give it credit, there are a lot of things that you don't necessarily have to do, at least. Like, but it feels like then you get the idea that you feel like you're missing out on part of the game. And it's as if it's gone more sort of RPG elements to it. And
yeah, but at what point is that the game that you bought? You know, you can't really complain about something that you knew it was going to be going in. You know what I mean?
But the sheer volume, I didn't expect that there would be, quite that many little bitty things. Oh, yeah, cleaning every little thing. And I get why they want to do it, but it feels... I don't know, maybe it doesn't necessarily... It's not necessarily a bad thing, but... It's definitely.
I don't think the things degrade or you go hungry. I don't think that stuff happens fast enough for it to be intrusive, in my opinion. I think.
I've eaten 10 times, maybe.
Yeah, I agree. I agree that, like, and I especially agree. Like, I especially like the fact that, again, like I said, it doesn't. You don't have to do these things specifically. You can just go with the story and you'll still have a good time. But it's. I don't know. It just feels like it changes up what the game, at least I don't know, maybe the first game was, or what Rockstar games have been. It's the blurring of the lines between genres, and it just all kind of melds into one big tedious monstrosity that, I don't know, takes away from the experience a little bit, at least for me.
Yeah, I haven't felt any of that.
No.
Yeah, me neither.
Okay. Well, maybe it's just I was again talking about this on the stream, that's not my kind of game anyway. I don't really like RPG elements in games. At least I have to be significantly invested in the setting and the story and stuff like that to get something out of those kind of bitty things. So it's obviously just a personal thing.
I can see that. That's kind of why sorry to cut you off, but like I know people are gonna yell at me for this. But I've tried getting into The Witcher 3. Not a huge fan.
I can understand that.
I'm sure if I keep playing it, I could like it, but
see, I won't. I haven't even tried The Witcher 3 because I know that I'm not gonna enjoy it.
I feel like the only reason I haven't played with The Witcher 3, I mean, it's one of those. The game is so massive, right? But I feel like I'm so behind too in terms of lore and stuff like that. That's what's put me off of it.
But again, that's kind of how I feel about
game.
Red Dead Redemption.
It's still an amazing game.
2 is that like it is just so massive and there's so much content and so much stuff to do, which is great. But at what point does it become too much that if you feel more like you're missing out on stuff than the experience that you're getting from playing it?
Yeah, and I get that because, like Nas said, he's not really paying as much attention to the story. He's obviously paying attention to it, but he's doing a lot of side things too. I feel like since I am paying attention to the story, I'm missing out on those side things right now. And I think I might take a break from it and go and do those things.
Yeah, it's all about balance. I mean, it's do some extra things, do a mission. Do some extra things, do a mission. Yeah.
So going back to The Witcher 3, they actually, with the physical copy, they give you like a little like 3-page pamphlet to catch you up on the lore, which is great. It's a really nice thing for the developers to do. They just give you like a little, this is why the world is the way it is. This is what's going on. This is who you are. This is who the people around you are. And yeah, just catches you right up. So it is good to get into, but I would advise getting the physical copy.
What I was going to say about the needs. The only thing that bothers me about the needs currently, and it may be an upgrade later as you advance in Deadeye, but I really want to be able to replenish Deadeye with headshots and killing people. I'm not a big fan. No, as far as I can tell, I can't. You have to have your Deadeye core up, and then it replenishes over time.
Oh, I could have sworn. You know how like when you're treating your horse, you see a little plus horse thing. Like I thought I'd noticed like when I got headshots, it would do that with.
It might replenish your core, but it does maybe, but it doesn't just flat replenish your Deadeye. Like if I shoot 3 guys in the head, then I should have enough Deadeye to have like 2 seconds of Deadeye or something.
Yeah,
that would be nice. But you can
use tonics and stuff.
Yeah, like since I've discovered you've got chewing tobacco, which not only fills your Deadeye, it overfills it as well. So now that I've learned that that's in the wheel, like the wheel you pull up with L1, it's gotten a lot better.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
What do you mean?
I think I learned about that today or something.
Yeah, your items. Yeah, you move over to your items, and there's chewing tobacco. And
I always go into my satchel. I've not gotten used to that either. But
there's so much, and there's so much knowledge. Like maybe it's just the state of or the what you have to get used to with modern gaming, that there is going to be so much into a game like this, especially a game like this, that it's going to take. In previous times, it would take you maybe an hour or 2 to get used to a game. Maybe now it's going to take 5, 6, 7 hours until you actually fully get to grips with all the different items and all the different things that you can do, and maybe that's just part of it. But yeah, for me, I think because it's again the whole Wild West and cowboys and all that kind of stuff, the setting itself has never fully won me over, and it still doesn't. So I don't shake your head at me. I'm not American. I don't have any interest in this kind of.
American.
Well, I know, but like it's easier if you are. It's your history. But
my history. What are you talking about? My family came over from Ireland.
With your top hats, nerd. Okay.
My family came over from Ireland.
Go to your sewage-infested streets, nerd. Okay. that was your history.
But it's difficult for me to get into any kind of game that is set, way in the past like this, and it's just my preference for how I like, what I like, the kind of genres I like. That's how it is. So when it comes to all of these little parts of the game that to me feel tedious, when I hear Nos talking about it and when I hear how he's felt about the game, I can I totally get it. Like, it makes total sense. If I say got a Mass Effect that wasn't Mass Effect Andromeda, but it was actually a good game.
The last Mass Effect they made was Mass Effect 3, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Mass Effect 3 was the last one, but
I think Andromeda was a graphic novel, actually.
yeah. Not a very good one because the facial the drawing wasn't very good.
Yeah.
But yeah, like if there was sort of something set in the Mass Effect universe, or any kind of game that I'm totally invested in, or even a new IP that is that kind of genre that I'm interested in, all of this kind of stuff that I have been feeling a little bit, this is too much about Red Dead Redemption 2. If all of that stuff was in that game, then I could be like, okay, I can get on board with this. This is okay. Eventually I'll get used to it, and it's going to add to my experience. And then if there'd been a previous game like Red Dead Redemption 1 is, and this just adds on to it so much more, then yeah, I get it. And I can't hold that against the game and the quality of the game. It's not for me. It's not my kind of thing. But it doesn't stop me from realizing that this is an incredible game from an absolute programming and development perspective, the things that you can do in it and detail. But I think everybody has to be aware that it might just not be your thing. You don't have to like this game just because it's the next Rockstar game for 5 years. You don't have to like it. It doesn't have to be your thing. It's okay. But I feel like no, of course.
Nah.
If you don't like this game, then you're something's wrong with you.
There are certain things you just are required to like to be a human being.
Yes.
And this is one of them now. This is now a requirement.
I agree with that. Objectively, it is a near. It's as close to a perfect game from an objective standpoint as we've gotten so far, I think, in gaming.
Yeah.
Subjectively is completely different because you just might not like it. You might not like that kind of thing. But
I think objectively, subjective is dumb. Okay. There's right and there's wrong. There are no opinions, and I'm right and you're wrong. That's how it works. That's how it works.
But there is a silver lining for people that might not be about the Red Dead lifestyle, which we call those people idiots. But let's just say
I call them Yankees. That's what I call them.
Hey, whoa, hey there, kiddo. Let's back it up here. I'm one of the northern Yankees. You should be super hyped for GTA 6.
Yeah.
If you don't like Red Dead Redemption 2, GTA 6 should be amazing. Should be.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if nothing else, even if you're not going to buy the game and play the game yourself, you should watch people play it or watch certain sections of it.
Michael is hungry. Go feed him at Burger King. Michael's car is dirty. Take it to the car wash.
But when you think that, like, the things that we're going to be the things that we're seeing in Red Dead Redemption 2 now are only going to be improved upon and made better and included into GTA. Hopefully the right things, and it doesn't just, revert back to nonsense like GTA 5 did when you compare the gunplay in comparison to, say, Red Dead, and it actually gets worse. But hopefully GTA 6 takes a lot of what is in Red Dead Redemption 2 because it's incredible. Yeah. And objectively it is an incredible achievement of a game.
Truly.
Just might not be for you. You just
it should be though, because if it's not, you're wrong.
The thing is, to be fair, I hadn't felt like I needed to play Red Dead Redemption, the original, for 8 years.
Oh, here we go again.
Right? And afterwards, I still felt like if I'd not played it for 2 hours, if I'd stopped playing it after 2 hours, I wouldn't have missed out on much. I wasn't too bothered, just because it wasn't my sort of game in terms of the setting and whatever. But I'm still happy that I played it, and I think it's going to be an even more more of that feeling from Red Dead Redemption 2. I feel better overall about this one than I did the first one. And I think even if I'm not going to not enjoy it, but even if it's still like a meh. I'm glad I played it, but that's it. I'm still glad.
They're not use that sound again when you're talking about Red Dead Redemption 2, bro.
It's time to get people angry.
Meh.
Meh. That's
Just
the banned
from,
word in the comments this week.
Let's make it meh. You know, that's what I was gonna say. We should start doing that in the middle of it instead of the end, so people don't just skip to it.
Yeah, just put it in random places throughout the
just
episode.
put it in random places. So meh, that's the word.
But yeah, like I'm still happy that I'm experiencing it because it's that good. It's that good of a game, just on the game aspect of it, that I'm happy that I'm experiencing this game. But we'll see how the story goes. You know, the story is everything, and it's all about how the story is going to progress. It's very slow. It is. You can't. You know, if you don't like slow-paced games, you're not going to like it.
Yeah, but I think the payoff is going to be really good. Like,
that's what I'm
waiting
hoping for. Yeah.
to get back to Blackwater. That's kind of what I'm playing for right now, is to get to the old part of the game, like the old map.
Yeah.
But I've decided to like kind of slow myself down and start to really take in the story. Also, I just don't know why it's called Red Dead Redemption 2. It's not a story. It's not a story of redemption.
We don't know yet, I suppose.
Yeah, it may turn into a story of redemption. We don't know. GTA Man has assured us that the story is ridiculous and crazy and really good. So
don't say anything like that, because then that builds up the expectation, and that's the trouble I had with the first one.
That's GTA Man's opinion. You can disregard his opinion.
Yeah, he's.
But I think that's
right.
He's GTA Man. Okay, he's not RDR Man.
Oh my god.
So,
but I think you hit the nail like on the head there. Like the payoff for me at the end of Red Dead Redemption 1 wasn't there. A lot of people like that ending, but to me it wasn't there, just from a personal perspective. But I'm hoping that this story is gonna really pick up, and there's gonna be some payoff at the end of this one. It's interesting that Rainbow says, I personally think that you would enjoy the game more if you did it off stream. I absolutely disagree. If I did it off stream, I wouldn't get through the game. I wouldn't have got through Red Dead 1. I wouldn't get through this. I guarantee it. Because it's just not my thing. It's the fact that I'm streaming it, and you know.
Yeah.
That's
the stream keeps you going.
Yeah.
Like, because that people want to see what you're doing, and you want to keep people entertained, so you're just going to keep playing through it.
Yeah. But yeah, it's very slow, and I would have stopped before now, I think, just because it's just not my thing. But I'm glad that I'm continuing, because I want to see what happens. It's difficult. It's one of those sort of like 50-50. You're on one side at 1 minute, one side the next minute, and sometimes you're thinking, damn, I'm not intrigued in this, and then there's other times where like, wow, this is amazing, and it's difficult. It's not 100% clear cut for me as much of it is.
I think
for us.
I think to truly enjoy this game at its maximum level, you have to embrace the slowness.
I agree with that.
You have to slow yourself. You have to slow your heart rate. You have to slow your speech. You have to slow everything. You must move as the game moves, which is slow. You do, and you embrace it,
and you don't force. Like, I'm just going through the story missions, but and that's you can do that,
and don't have a goal. That if you set a goal in this game, you're missing out. Just set minor goals, like I want to go buy this hat, or what, I want to go to town and buy the stuff, right? And then just whatever happens along the way, you do it. Don't be on to that goal. Or if you get in town, there's a bounty poster. Do the bounty. Don't do the bounty. You see a deer while you're riding, hunt it, kill it. You see a challenge that you could do it. You have
to lose yourself in the immersion that the game is trying to create for you to really get the most out of this game. And it's true, you can't do that when you're streaming it. But for me personally, I couldn't do that. I couldn't lose myself in the game anyway. So I might as well stream it, because it's going to make it better for me. But yeah, if you really do want to get the most out of this game, you do need to you need to accept that you're going to put 60, 80, 100 hours into it.
Yeah.
Slow
I
everything
put 20
down.
20 hours into the game. I'm not even done with chapter 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not too far behind you, and I've only done 5 hours. So, that's the kind of difference that you can get from doing a lot to doing just the bare minimum. And I think you do, if you really do want to get the best experience of the game, you have to do that.
Yeah, and I'm rewarded for it as well.
Yeah, of course.
I've gotten multiple unique weapons. I have found I've completed a line of treasure hunting. Like you got a map and another map and another map. I've completed a line of treasure hunting, and now I have 2 gold bars, which I think are worth like 500 each. And again with the guns that I have 2 unique versions of the Cattleman revolver, and actually a unique version of the Mauser, which I don't even have unlocked yet.
What?
And from just exploring and doing stranger missions and such. So you get rewarded really well for doing these extra things and for doing this exploration. And
Can you vault? Can you vault weapons?
What do you mean?
Like, I don't want to. I don't know. I feel like I carry. I know this sounds stupid because you can't carry like all your weapons, but I feel like I have too many pistols, and I don't know where they are or like what. They're on my
they're
horse.
all on your horse. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're all on your horse.
Oh my god. Okay, that's going to be one of my gripes. But to finish off that thought, that you also have to be aware that that might just not be your kind of thing. Like for me, to be able to put 80, 100 hours into a game, I just can't do that anymore. I don't have the time to do that. So if you're going in with that mindset into a game like this, you're not going to enjoy it anywhere near as much. So you've got to know what kind of things suit you, what kind of games you like. But from just a purely objective game creation experience, this is incredible. But I think that it's even necessary. It's even necessary, kind of showing from view numbers when it comes to Twitch, when it comes to YouTube videos about Red Dead. The general population aren't as interested in it as much, I don't think, as
I would agree. Well, there's an oversaturation of streams as well right now.
Well, yeah, of course. And people want to not watch a stream because they want to play it themselves, of course.
Yeah.
But
I think Red Dead Online is going to be where the viewership is going to be. Like if you are grinding on GTA Online or Red Dead Online, and you're like high level and good at that game, I think you'll probably succeed, because there's gonna be a lot of plebs who shouldn't even be allowed to hold a controller playing it. And if you're actually good, hopefully that will translate.
But I felt like this about like the original Red Dead. It feels like it's more of a niche game, and certainly I guess everything that isn't GTA from Rockstar, it could be considered a niche game as well in comparison to GTA. But I'm trying to find out what the sales figures were for Red Dead Redemption, the original one. But
they were good, but they certainly weren't as good as GTA, obviously. I mean,
it's difficult because you're always...
Casuals are the problem. Okay, that's the problem. Look, it goes back to that. Casuals.
But it feels like the for Rockstar games, they're always held to a higher standard. And even if Red Dead Redemption 2 sells better than most of the games, the God of Wars, the Spider-Man, the Call of Duties, all that kind of stuff, because it hasn't reached the same level and ridiculous level that, say, GTA does as a franchise, it always feels like it's a little bit less, I don't know, a little bit less of a franchise, and it's a bit of a shame that such a game like that is,
I guess not everybody likes cowboys or something. I don't know.
And or culture, good video games. It's part of it.
So can we move into what we dislike? Some things that we dislike.
15 million units, by the way, for Red Dead Redemption, the original game, as of February 2017. At least that was just a figure.
I think that's where the interesting discussion will be. Some things that we dislike.
Yeah,
perhaps.
I wanted to say that one thing that we would mention. Yeah, this putting the stuff on the saddle of your horse
Oh,
and all
that's
the
right.
guns. I like that, right? I like the idea that you store all your stuff on your guns and you can only carry a certain amount of things. Now, please tell me if I'm wrong with this and there's something that I can do to remedy it, because I hate it. The fact that every single time I get off my horse on a new mission, I have to then re-get all of my guns again.
Well, you can attach them. You can like put them on when you're on the horse.
Yeah, but I have to actually do that every single time.
Yeah, there have been some. I
man.
think it might just be a little buggy because there's been certain where because all I use really is the double barrel shotgun because I have buck and I have slugs. I'm good. That's all I need. All right. If you're a mile away, you're going down with a slug.
Really?
Yes,
lame.
you have to try the slugs. I will get on to that
I've
later.
used the slugs. I've used like all the weapons, but I like doing pew pew pew. I like then pulling out the repeater and no, I went the wrong way. And then going boom boom boom. You know, I like going boom boom.
Yeah, I've had
Anyway.
missions where I've turned up and it's not had any of my weapons, but I've also had missions where I've got off my horse and he's got like his full arsenal. Every single gun that I own is on him. It doesn't seem right.
Yeah, I think it's a little buggy, personally.
Okay, I'm
I think it's
hoping that
little
that's a
bit-
bug that will be patched because I hate it so much that I get off my horse. I don't really think about it because I've just been in a mission, used those weapons, and I would expect that it would at least save your last used weapons, and then you go into your horse if you want a different weapon. But I get off, I go halfway into the mission, and the next thing I know, all I've got is my pistol and a lasso and a knife, it's so frustrating.
What else do you need?
Now I haven't had that happen, but I've had it to where I'll get off my horse and I usually just run with the double barrel, just one weapon on my back, and I'll have my repeater as well. I have to put my repeater up, so.
The only thing that I can think it is that it would be like that as a feature is if you get off your horse and it gives you your suggested loadout for that mission. But that kind of annoys me because everybody plays their own way.
I mean, you can see
for
Arthur.
instance, my name is Slugman. I slug everybody. So
I mean, you can see Arthur holster his weapons on his horse after some time. So I don't know. And you don't have to get on your horse. I don't think you can just like walk up to him.
yeah.
Yeah, but again, this is one of those things where it's realistic, it's immersion, it's putting it all in, but it takes away from the experience for me. I just want to get into a mission, and I don't want to have to think every single time I start a mission to then get the weapons off my horse every single time.
In a way, that's part of the immersion. You got to be prepared for anything, and you got to make sure that you're prepared.
I guess all I'm saying is I
understand it's probably a bug.
I agree with you to a certain level that if it's every time I get off my horse, I should get what I last had when I was off my horse.
Yeah, that's all I ask. You know?
Yeah.
Go on. Do you guys want to? Because I have one thing in particular to talk about, but I think that's it. But I think we've been over the stuff that I'm kind of like. It's not the things that I have gripes about. Apart from that, and the one thing that I want to talk about, they're not really gripes. They're just, what we've talked about, differences in like what we like and don't like about games. I think we've been over everything else that I want to mention.
My biggest dislike goes back to taking it slow, in that there is nothing between Sunday walk and run. I wish that the kind of power walk you do in camp, I wish you could do that elsewhere. Because it's
if you hold A, can't you do that? Isn't it?
No, you run. Or at least I run.
Yeah, I don't think I do.
Maybe there's a setting or something. I don't know, but it's
well,
if you hold X or A, you run.
What happens when you're doing nothing and you're just going forward?
I walk. You walk.
Oh, so there's nothing in between. The thing is, GTA is like that as well. It's the same thing. They just don't seem to have like a.
Well, GTA Online is GTA 5. You did
GTA
have
5's
kind of
got the jog.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah. If I want to jog, I want a brisk jog because I want to get across this muddy street fast, but I don't want to sprint and knock people over. Yeah. Immersion.
I wish you could run in camps as well. Actually, yes, and that's something that we mentioned before the start of the podcast.
I think the power
pre-show.
walk is sufficient myself.
You don't want to stir up a ruckus in camp.
Exactly.
Get all the dirt kicking around and people stew. Come on, man.
I had to go from the horse to the person who was farthest away from the camp to end a mission, And it definitely took me between 45 seconds to a minute just to do that walk. And I feel like that's too much for walking in a camp. To finish a mission, just to see some guy.
I think you're over-exaggerating the time.
Yeah, I think you're being a little...
I want to time it. I want to time it. I want to go find that clip and time it and see how long it took me to do that walk.
Here's the other thing. Did you hitch up your horse? Like, did you make sure that your horse was hitched? Because you don't have to do that. Did you do all this other stuff? Like,
don't worry. Once the speedrunners attack this game, we'll find some kind of glitch to fly.
Yeah, we'll get Josh back on in about a month.
We'll be flying. We'll be like transforming into a bird or something, like flying to Blackwater early or something.
I just spawned in the Black Hawk helicopter. What? How'd you do that?
That's the other thing, actually. One thing that I noticed that a lot of people haven't really picked up on is the game has a cheat menu.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen
like,
that is a thing, but I haven't looked at it.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm so glad that they've done that.
I like that they've added a cheat menu instead of trying to sell us microtransactions to act as
I'm
those
interested
cheats.
How they incorporate the cheats into the game as well, like how you find them. Because
I hope there's
there a
some
newspaper?
funny cheats in there.
I hope there's a flying horse cheat.
Yeah. 45 seconds, all the pain. Well, yes. 45 seconds is painful when all you're doing is just walking from one place to another to finish a mission.
Game, all right, time is money. Time is money when you're in the streamer game. So 45 seconds of walking, that's 45 seconds and nobody's donating to me. So because I'm not doing anything interesting and there's nowhere for a GTA joke. So,
I saw you when I raided you last night. I saw you just before I left the stream get mad at people for all their horsepower jokes and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, I will ban you if you come into my chat with those dumb jokes. I'll ban you. I'm not lying. I don't care who you are. You will get banned. You'll get banned. All right, you'll get banned.
Any other gripes?
Like I said before, I think the script could have been a bit more diverse. I've heard the same thing a couple of times. I've heard played like a fiddle a couple of times. I've heard, oh, they won't find us. It's a big country. I've heard that 14,000 times. I've heard we got to move out west, but we need more money. And I heard that 1,400,000 times.
It's not a bad Dutch. Is that Dutch you're trying to do there?
Just random gang member.
I love Dutch's voice because he's always out of breath. It sounds Dutch always sounds like he just got done running a 5K.
Yeah.
We don't want to kill any of you, but we will.
I've got the script maybe isn't the best, at least from what you know. I haven't really
the voice
noticed
acting
that,
is
but that's what I was going to say. The voice acting is incredible, really top notch, superb voice acting.
That's it. It's taken me a little bit of a long time to get used to the controls and into the game. That might be by design, but again, that's just something that kind of frustrated me more than is making is against the game, a hit against the game. But I don't know.
I would like I said, I would encourage
hand-to-hand combat.
I would encourage you to delve into the settings for some sensitivities, because once I messed with it, I got it feeling a lot like the original Red Dead. So it's like a weird mix between Red Dead and Max Payne. Once I messed with the settings, so I would suggest doing that.
So carrying on from what you just said about trying to get in and getting used to the controls and things, my major gripe, and this is a gripe that I've continually had about Rockstar games more and more over the years, is there has to be a better way to inform you about features in the game, controls, the idea of putting a little tooltip thing in the top left hand corner of the screen that explains something whilst someone's talking, or that you're trying to do something else. It's just it's ludicrous. It's so bad. I hated it so much. I'm gonna be real with you.
I think you're just a slow reader.
I saw you struggling to put the bandana on at one point. You're like, "What? Didn't I just put it on?" They're like, "No, you have to hold it there." You're like, "Oh God, why do I have to do this twice?"
It's like there's been so many occasions where I've either missed what the thing says when I'm reading it because I'm trying to listen to what is being said in dialogue, or I've missed the dialogue because I'm trying to read with the tooltip. And then there's been other moments where it just gets shot at you so quickly that I can't take it in, and then I forget about it completely. That's it, it's gone. And I'm never going to remember that. And then I come to actually try to do something and I mess it up. I think I failed the very first duel as well.
I did as well. I had my first duel, like, not when you're supposed to have your first duel, I'm pretty sure. So I was lost on the duel too. So
I think the duels are kind of lame.
Was that the turtle boy, bruv?
Who?
The
What?
cult boy.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah. I had exactly the same thing. I was like, what am I supposed to be doing here? It's not clear at all.
You are required to disarm him for that mission, correct?
Yes, yeah, you are.
Okay,
It fails
but-
if you like. I failed
what guy?
it the
What are you
first time
talking
'cause he
about?
Shot himself.
The like
Mary
the
Scientology guy.
Mary's
Linton's.
brother. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
Linton's brother. Yeah.
Okay, I had my first before that. I think I don't know. I can't remember.
But
I did too.
that is a perfect example because it doesn't. It feels like it doesn't give you the time to do what you need to do to be able to read, and then act out. And for the first time, when you're trying to do it, you're obviously going to be slow. You're going, okay, do that, do that, do that, and then the next thing you know, the mission's over and failed.
Yeah,
Shot
it's
himself in the face.
I'm going to teach you how to do this thing while you're doing it.
Yeah,
real
That's not how
time.
learning works.
Yeah, now I agree with that with the duel.
All right, we're gonna put you behind
learning
that.
how to duel was pretty
Wheel on
rough.
plane.
and that just kind of like, I like Bayman says you can reread everything. Surely, well, no, because it goes off the screen before you even chance to read it the first time. Most of the time, and you don't think when you're in the middle of doing the thing that it's teaching you to do to then pause the game and look into whatever it is and the manuals and all that kind of stuff. It's just the way that, and it's the same with GTA 5 when I first got that.
heists
The
and
same
online.
with online, all that kind of stuff. When new stuff is implemented, it's always the same way that they do it, and there has to be a better way because I just think it's the worst way to introduce anybody to any kind of new feature or tutorial to do anything in games. It's terrible, and I missed so much stuff in the first part of the game because I was trying to read, or I missed what I was supposed to read, and I just get so frustrated with it, and I don't want to have to then go back and reread everything and try to it's just, I feel like they do this big long tutorial of how to do all this kind of stuff, but they don't do the actual tutorial bit as well as they could.
Yeah, I can understand.
So that's why I find it a little bit more difficult to get into, the controls and that kind of stuff, and why it's taken me a bit longer. But also, maybe I'm just getting older. I don't know. That's how it makes me
You're
feel.
a grumpy old man.
Yeah. Is that it?
It's a masterpiece, man. It's a great game.
This game is a masterpiece and experience. We didn't even talk. I mean, there's so many things we didn't talk about.
Fishing.
Gone
Fishing.
fishing. The soundtrack.
The soundtrack's
Shotgun
amazing.
slugs.
Yeah, the
I gotta
music's
tell
great.
you. Oh, I gotta tell you. All right,
Give him the tea, cuz.
I'm here to preach the gospel of shotgun slugs to you because shotgun slugs are the best. I've wanted shotgun slugs in Red Dead Redemption forever. All right, and we finally got them. All right, so there's this, like kind of camp going on. I hear some voices yelling, so I get off my horse and I sneak around, and they're all arguing out. So they're arguing, so I'm gonna go in this house and steal. And these are bad guys, right? I know they're because they're doing bad things. So I go into the house, I'm robbing it, and then two people hear me come in and point their guns at me. So, pew pew, they're gone, right? And then I run out the back door, fight my way, get around, fight my way, get my shotgun slugs, boom, boom, kill people. And then the last enemy is up in the loft of a barn, right? It's a woman. It's a tiny woman with a big gun way up in the loft of a barn. And I poke out, go into Deadeye, right as she's going back in, boom, slugs, shoot her in the head, kill her, right? So I go to investigate.
Really?
So I go to investigate the loft. She doesn't have a head anymore. It's gone. It's gone. It doesn't exist anymore. All that's left is part of her jaw, and that's it. I blew her head completely away with a shotgun slug from about 50 feet away. And it's just...
Did you do it
that
Terrible pun.
It's just great. It's just shotgun slugs.
you've
You got
lost
if you
your
don't have
man.
any shotgun slugs, get yourself the double barrel, get yourself the shotgun slugs, and try it out in Red Dead. It's very good.
You're
Very,
out
very
of your mind. That's what you gotta say after. Like, I was doing that. I was streaming. This is completely off topic. I was streaming World War II, COD World War II one time, and I was using the incendiary shotgun shells. And every time I would kill somebody, I would say some terrible pun about like burning. And in an aural voice, I'd be like, "Looks like you left the oven on," or something. They're like, that's hot," or something stupid.
I just think about calling people primitive screwheads whenever I kill them with my double barrel. Yeah, because it's my boomstick. Got it. Shop smart, shop S smart.
Wondersniff said in the chat, I give it 2 months before we start shitting on Rockstar for something related to this game. And
Yeah, probably the online portion.
I was just going to say,
Yeah,
speaking of
yeah,
that,
the online,
will be
yeah.
out by then.
We'll
Yeah.
see how that goes.
What?
Yeah,
I
definitely
have an early impression. As soon as I saw the Los Santos customs of horses, the stables, with all the different horse breeds that you can have, all the different, let's say, modifications, car modifications that you can have for these horses, all these different visual differences, I immediately went to, okay, this is how online's going to be with horses. Horses are just going to be the new cars in GTA.
Oh yeah, obviously.
And
what? What?
Well,
else
not
are
what
you
I
gonna-
mean, but like
Hey,
what I mean
the
is
mode of transportation is going to be the mode of transportation, guys.
no.
Check out this, guys.
You know what I mean, you scumbags.
No, I don't. I don't
No,
think it's going to
from-
be as crazy because you're not going to have a garage filled with 40 horses.
You
You're
will
gonna
have a stable though with
Yeah, you'll have a
four.
stable with a couple. You'll have a cart that you're going to run your businesses off of. Probably that's going to cost you $1 million. Cowboy broke.
I think
Brokeback
there's going to be quite a lot of
Brokeback bucks.
elements from the last 2 years of updates from GT Online with the businesses, with the monetization in Red Dead Online from the start.
Well,
I
we'll
think.
see.
We'll
That's something
see.
we'll have to wait.
But that would be that's going to be. I'm looking forward to seeing what they've done with it from a from just an intrigue perspective, more so than excited to play it. I think. But we'll see.
Yeah, I just don't know. I mean, obviously, we have no idea what the online is going to be like. I just don't see how they can monetize it like they monetize GTA.
I mean, it doesn't have the same level of.
Well, they're probably going to show you.
yeah.
If you can't see, they'll probably show you.
But I mean, like, because I think the main point of I don't know, interest in GTA is the cars, obviously, and they make the cars super expensive and they make it difficult to get money to buy them, and so they give you this out to buy the in-game currency. The races aren't going to be that fun in Red Dead, and I don't think you're going to want all these horses. So I just don't see. Maybe guns, maybe.
Supposedly,
Maybe
there's an
businesses.
achievement for owning 5 horses online.
Yeah, there is.
Okay, but yeah, weaponized wagons. But yeah, I think
With a
with it
gallon,
doesn't
yeah.
have the same mass appeal as what GTA does, obviously. So it's not going to be as big of an earner for them, and maybe because of that, they're not going to go full out monetization like they did with GTA.
Yeah,
But I'm interested to see
now that I'm
what
thinking of it.
level.
It's gonna be a ranch. It's gonna be a ranch or something.
cost. Yeah, it is.
Oh, I
isn't it?
hope
I'm already
I can
thinking of
own
ways.
a ranch. That'd be
Hire
so
me,
sweet.
Rockstar. I'll give you ways to monetize your boring
Oh,
games.
they know, I'm sure. I wonder, it would be interesting if there's any kind of copy paste aspects to it that we can point to. It's like, that's just straight out of GT Online.
Yeah.
I'm really intrigued to see what they do. But from the single player perspective of Red Dead Redemption 2, it is a masterpiece of a game.
Yes,
Objectively. So far.
it's a masterpiece of an experience. Yes.
Yeah.
The story, the second half of the story could be absolute garbage, but I hope not.
Yeah.
I
But
know.
I mean, yeah, from a game creation perspective, it's great. But
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that the story and how invested you're going to get in it personally will determine how much you personally like it.
Which you should
Yeah.
like it a lot.
But you, and if you don't like
Yes.
it, and if you don't buy this game, Nos is going to
If
hate
you don't like it,
forever.
I'm sending a posse to your house.
I like that. Now I'm on a level 5 beard. What are you guys at?
Clean shaven.
Clean
Yeah,
shaven.
I know. Everybody else is going to go for the beard, so I went clean shaven.
Wow.
I just got a mustache.
Nice. Congratulations.
Yeah.
We're asking about.
Well, not
tattoos.
in real life.
funny
That's not a thing that I can do.
It was funny when you got that, and I was like, "Hey, that looks like Burt Reynolds," and you were like, "Yep, that looks like Burt Reynolds."
Yeah,
I'm like,
I said
"Oh,
it. Yeah,
Rest-
it is. My character is now Burt Reynolds.
Rest in peace, Big
Yeah.
Bert. Damn.
tribute.
So let's open up the phone bank.
Phone
anybody
bank,
has any
get
questions.
in the phone. Call us on the phone.
If you have any
please.
questions about Red Dead or anything else, I guess I'm gonna probably title this Red Dead Redemption 2 Special because that's what it is. So
Oh,
That's
it's
all we're talking
definitely
about.
special, boy. All right.
We got any
Um,
gaming news?
gaming
Red Dead
news.
Redemption 2 came out.
That's
We
what
should
I was
talk
going to
about that.
say. Yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2 has come out. That is our gaming news. That segment's done.
Most people over there playing that Soul Calibur game, they're making some cool custom characters. Go check that out.
Oh, is Soul Calibur out?
Yeah, I think so.
I was a
making
huge fan as a kid of Soul Calibur.
people like there's
3.
a custom character creator in that, and the characters have been hilarious. So
Oh god, I can't even imagine what kind of sexist kind of female characters people are going to be making in that.
well, I saw a lizard with very large genitalia. That was impressive.
That was impressive. I'm hoping to find
I'm
that
not really,
at some point in Red Dead.
I can't really think of any kind of gaming news over the last 2 weeks that is of note.
Wasn't there some game that came out like the Fallout 76 beta? Did you play that? RDC? I didn't
No.
think so. I didn't
crazy?
think so.
Black Ops 4 came out.
Oh yeah,
and-
Blackout looks fun.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of that. I'm probably not going to play a lot of it anymore, but I was playing a lot of it. There was a bit of a controversy there because they were doing the Fortnite emote thing, but since it's a first-person battle royale,
I remember.
you could like
Oh, you can
see
see
around.
around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You're just doing
So-
it more to see around the corner.
yeah.
In
I don't know if
first
they
You
fixed
person.
that.
you just dab and you
Yeah.
can see everybody. You know.
Add insult to injury. You're just dabbing. You're just oh, there he is. But
Oh.
yeah, I think it's really good. I mean, I know a lot of people. It's split 50-50. If you like Call of Duty, if you don't like Call of Duty. To me, I haven't liked a Call of Duty multiplayer in a long time, and I really like this. It
That's the
feels
kind of-
very familiar.
Feel that I've been getting, that I've been seeing in videos and stuff like that this is like the best Call of Duty for a while. But
Yeah.
it comes
Well, I
along
mean, Call
with
of
the
Duty's always had
monetization that they
robust-
do now, and the
Yeah.
fact that they don't have single player and stuff like that. But I think
There is
I
a
was
single player,
watching
isn't there?
something where there's no single, well, not really.
No.
No,
But
there's not.
they were saying something about it's like it split people because the time to kill feels better. Like they've increased that, so it's not quite just the same. Whoever sees the person first is dead, wins. And I think that's better. But you know, it comes with all the usual Activision nonsense with monetization. But it feels like Blackout is a very, very fun game mode, even if it is just another battle royale. They've done it well.
Yeah, I mean, I think PUBG's dead after this. I
Yeah.
think,
PUBG's been dead for a while.
yeah, but I think this has officially cremated
This is the
it.
nail.
and
This is
there's no
the-
coming
Does
back.
this,
This is the nail
in
in the
your
coffin.
opinion, since you've bought it and played it, does it feel like a $60 game? COD? Is there enough there to warrant the $60 full price tag?
I mean, obviously, I liked playing through the single player in Call of Duty. I think so. With zombies, which I haven't played yet, multiplayer and Blackout. If you just split those into 3, you could easily sell those each for $20 each as standalone arcade style games. So I think putting them together warrants a $60 price tag. Now offering like a season pass and an ultimate edition and all that other stuff, I think that's outrageous, but that's for another time.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be worthy of that, but yeah, I think it's worth $60.
Oh yeah, that was it. Season pass was almost the price of the game. I remember now.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's our gaming news. Not a lot going on. Comments from last week. And do we have any comments to make about last week's episode? 2 weeks ago, I should say.
Next time we have a
Follow.
guest, he's got to lean in.
Sorry,
Sorry, Pyro. Lean forward. And
Hello, my
we
name's
should've-
Pyround Gaming.
we should have had him test his mic
Hello.
out because he sounds a lot better in his videos.
Hello. I'm
But, I
Pyround
thought it was
Gaming.
interesting.
Hello.
Yes.
Oh.
He was a good guest, though.
Yeah, good guest and good
Yeah.
meme too. So
Yeah,
excellent.
good meme too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find the episode so I can look at some.
I will say there were a lot of people jumping on the bandwagon of hoping to get their comments read out, because we've read out, I think it's Base Black Knight that we've read out his comments the last few times, because he's always done these really long, involving comments containing the word that we choose for that week. And everybody jumped on the bandwagon, which I knew they would, trying to get their comments read out. I say we read no comments.
Read no comments?
No
well,
comments, huh?
not
No,
the
but
wild
like
one.
any that we, the problem is that they're all so long that it takes like 3-4 minutes just to read one of them, as we saw like 2 weeks ago. So
Yeah.
Phil has provided me with his homework, but not selected a comment, possibly for that exact same reason.
okay, yes, and he's just put in the chat, I agree. So there you go. Yes, I'm not going to say that you didn't do any good comments. They were good to read through, and I enjoyed reading.
We're not
them.
reading them.
But we're not reading them on here. So you've got to do it in the comments like that. If you want to do those kind of comments, you've got to do it for the satisfaction of making those kind of comments, not just for getting them to be read on this show.
Notice me, Bruffy, please. Notice me. Notice me, please. Will you notice me, please?
So how are we? What was the word again? Oh, just good enough.
Just good enough.
Just good enough.
Good enough. So we had 97 comments in total on the last episode. How many do you think mentioned just good enough?
20. 1.
Right.
And a half.
Wow, that was in there early. What about you, RDT?
Just good enough. 97. 26.
I'm gonna go 29.
You son of a bitch.
I think it's. I actually thought it was in the 20s, but I'm gonna go for 29 because it could be in the 30s.
So,
Could be.
the winner this week is Adam. Congratulations, Adam.
Is it 33?
Wow,
What is it?
Shot.
It's 40. 40
Whoa.
comments.
Wow.
Party far.
Yeah, 40.
Interesting. Seeing as I remember seeing it, the first, because obviously I read all comments on my channel, so I get a general idea. But
It's a mistake, by the way. Don't do that.
it seemed it seemed like initially out of the first, say, 40, 20, 30, 40 comments, there weren't very many people saying just good enough. Like they'd just come to watch the bit with Pyrome, say, and then they clicked off and they weren't regular viewers or anything.
No, they just came for the choke of the week. The one that
I just
GTA
choke of the week, yeah. But then, yeah, now that I think about it, the later comments, there were actually a lot more. Yeah. Interesting. 40.
Yes. And that is, the keywords were mentioned 171 times in those 40 comments.
Okay, of course.
Jesus. Come on, guys.
Right. So, do we have any callers?
It may look like we do, but we in fact don't.
Okay.
Oh,
I have checked. We do not.
Damn.
So
everybody's playing Red Dead Redemption 2.
yeah, everyone wants just to
Yeah.
get this wrapped up,
Oh, wait,
so
wait,
we can
wait,
all
wait.
go
Yeah, let's
back to
get this
playing Red
done now.
Dead.
Wait. I've just had it through on the phone lines from my producer. Apparently, we do actually have a question from the person that's calling in. So let me bring him in. It's Major Copyright with a question.
Oh, God. No, I'm just kidding. I love you, Copper.
Hello, caller. Welcome
is he in?
to the
Oh, is
the Cowboy Podcast. Look, I'm giving up. Just give me. Look, I want to go
Is
play.
he in here?
Just make
Oh,
it
yeah.
quick. Make it quick
Make
so
it
we can
quick.
all go play Red Dead. Well,
Make it
I'm going to
quick,
sleep,
please.
¿Cómo se dice?
Very professional. Very professional today.
Spit it
Thank
out.
you.
All
Thank
right.
Don't have time.
All right.
Come on,
since
partner.
Red Dead Redemption. What's everybody's favorite Western film?
you. I haven't seen very many, and I can remember very less of that number.
I think this is kind of sacrilege. I mean, I should really have a better choice than this, but probably The Hateful Eight. I mean, I really enjoyed that.
I thought that was really good too.
I mean, but I think when you ask that question, you're thinking about like classic westerns, you know. So I don't really know if The Hateful Eight is a valid answer, but it's what I'm going for. I mean, the Dollars trilogy is excellent. Anything with Clint Eastwood's excellent. I mean, you know, John Wayne. There's a lot. There's a lot of stuff. So
It's funny you say The Hateful Eight because I'm gonna say Django Unchained.
Yeah, I would say
There you
Django over Hateful Eight. I think Hateful Eight had a bit too much of the classic Tarantino people talking for too long.
see, that's what I love about Tarantino.
Yeah,
though.
Yeah,
So
some people really love that. I prefer like a more spaced out movie like Django.
Yeah. I mean, Tombstone's always a good one. It's a little campy, but Tombstone's fun.
Yeah, and there's the more like kind of more modern ones like Lonesome Dove and stuff
Butch
like
Cassidy
that.
and Sundance Kid.
Yeah, there's stuff
Dude,
like that too.
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid is one of the greatest of all time. Although Rob Redford's a little bit overrated. Paul Newman is one of my favorite actors of all time.
I quite like the remake of True Grit.
I didn't watch it. I don't think I saw it.
I think I've seen that.
Wild Wild West with Will Smith.
Hey, I know Bruff's answer. Cowboys and Aliens. That's Bruff's answer.
I was going to say Django Unchained as well, but that's only because it's the only one I can probably remember. I know I've seen like John Wayne movies in the past when I was younger, and they were just on TV, but I can't really. Yeah.
If I'm going to be entirely honest, I would say Back to the Future 3, but I know.
I should say that.
The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Is that the one where they're like at the end they're on a standoff?
Yeah, well, there's a good guy, there's a bad guy, and there's an ugly one. And
yeah, but I just don't know whether I've seen it. Yeah, and I think I have,
fight.
But I can't.
Yeah, it's the one where they're like looking at each other, and then they shoot.
Oh yeah, okay. I have seen that. Interesting question. Thank you, copyright, for
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Showing up my lack of knowledge about westerns, which isn't to be expected.
Surprised I didn't get more of a reaction for Wild Wild West.
that was a pretty good meme answer. I just I've been desensitized because Jaji in my Discord has just been posting that video over and over again.
So RDT, do you have any kind of Apple Juice minute, or have you just been too busy playing Red Dead?
Oh, I've been playing. I actually went out and got it today, so I don't have one prepared, but I am drinking something from a brewery that is most commonly known as the bridge between natural light and actually semi-decent beer for college students. And that's Magic Hat. And surprisingly, they had a beer with my old high school nickname, Circus Boy. And I don't know why they used to call me that. I think it had something to do with the fact that I was a weirdo. But yeah, I was looking for something a little bit spooky for spooky season because it's almost Halloween, but I didn't find any Halloween themed beers, so I was left to go with something called Circus Boy that kind of tastes like dishwater. Sorry, Magic Hat, but you taste like soapy water. And I will continue to drink it because
you bought it.
Let's be honest. I bought it and it's out. But yeah, so I would not suggest going out and getting it. Sorry, don't sponsor us, Magic Hat.
2 out of 10. 2 out of 10 on the dish liquid Magic Hat beer.
Yeah.
Is it the worst you've had on the podcast yet? Or?
Close, and I've had Natty Ice on this. Or Natty Light. No, I had Natty Light, didn't I? Yeah, that was gonna get.
You don't have both. I'm sure you had both.
I think you
I
had
don't know
both.
I don't know if I had ice yet. Well, hold on for that special episode.
I'm looking forward
I
to
might
it.
die. Yeah, this isn't very good.
So we did have a pretender to the throne of RDT this week. I don't know if you guys saw Twitter, but Bass Black Knight decided to step in with a stand-in video for RDT's Apple Juice Minute.
Wow, I
And,
feel threatened.
and also prepared caller intros as well throughout the video, just in case you weren't going to be here because you were playing. Red
Jeez,
Dead.
he's coming for our jobs, Nas.
Coming
Come
from
on.
jobs.
He
So
is.
honorable mention. Thank you for putting the effort in. And
I
it's
feel
good
it's
that
my
we
job
have-
bad enough. He can
we have
have it. I
fans
got
like
I
that
got
on
Red
the
Dead
show.
2 now.
Right, so a choke of the week. Let's get on to it.
Yeah,
I
let's get
haven't
this done.
watched these yet.
I haven't either.
They're
probably-
very short this week, so
No need to like skip to each like halfway
Nope.
through a clip or anything like that.
maybe with the first one a little bit.
It's
but
49 seconds. We can deal.
It's fine.
So you can watch a 49-second video, but you can't walk across a camp for 49 seconds.
Well, yeah, because this is in
The
this
disrespect.
Because the video is actually entertaining.
Whoa, what are you saying? Bro,
Listen here, partner.
catch a flight to Scotland right now. Lay some hands on
I'm
some
not
people.
saying the game isn't entertaining. I'm saying the walk across the camp isn't entertaining. That's what. Just to clarify.
I'm gonna put some paws on some people if they say that.
All right.
I'll meet you out front of the saloon at high noon.
Are you guys ready
Oh
to
my
start watching these? Start
Oh, I've
Yeah,
been
sure.
watching this one.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
let
Let's
me get
start.
this
Let's
thing
go.
up. All right, I'll start in now.
This car is yellow. Or maybe it's green.
That's lime green.
It's green.
What
Oh,
are you,
yeah.
what are you looking at?
I don't know. I've been looking.
You've already struggled to do your job.
It's a
that
felon
was pretty polite.
overtaking a felon around the outside, around the prison complex area.
much
My
the criminal
criminal records
records,
GP here. This
Yeah.
looks nice.
Coming into
Same
a
old.
chicane.
Little chicane here.
Those apex props could be better.
Takes it perfectly. For last lap,
Nice.
he's
Last
in first
lap.
place.
4 laps out of
This
4.
track looks pretty good.
It's a very short race because they've only been doing it for 3.5 minutes. Oh my god.
He
Wow,
he
well,
flipped.
it's-
That's a flip. That's hitting a prop, and that's why you got to be careful with your prop usage in racing.
Yes, people.
Alright, so here's a premium race here.
Oh, we're going right into it. Huh?
Last lap, way out in front in the
Pariah.
Pariah. Oh, it's this track. I haven't done this track in years.
See, this is perfect. This is like 40 seconds. and
Over
you're just
the
giving us a run.
yeah.
You don't have to show us.
Oh,
Oh no.
straight over the
it's
checkpoint.
too fast.
I've done that so many times in on this track, where, like years ago when it was actually a thing. It's
Second
only
place.
2 people in the race, and everyone else dropped out.
Yeah, all right.
Say goodbye to 70k on that one. At least he
Damn.
got 10k profit from it.
Yeah.
Can you count all the chokes? Is this third one called 22 seconds? I imagine there can't be too many
Karuma.
chokes in 22 seconds.
Construction site dirt. He has a Mitsubishi logo
be
on the side of his
surprised.
Karuma.
Oh,
so
wow.
I'll
Oh,
not go
Jesus.
for him.
Oh, that
wow.
requires someone
All right,
packing.
1, 2.
No, wow. Okay. So he's in fourth on the last corner.
Yes.
The top
Bro.
3 all crash out. He then
Yeah.
goes over a destructible barrier, flips over after he's just gotten into the lead with the finish line right there. He reverses to try and get to the finish line first, and he gets overtaken by 2
Probably
people
could have
before there.
spun around a little bit.
Wow.
He had plenty of time
Wow.
to just go.
That was a good one.
Okay. I couldn't count all the chokes, and I wasn't expecting that many in 22 seconds. That was
Yeah, there were
impressive.
quite a few.
That was a good one.
Damn.
Wow. So whilst those who are here watching live, for our listeners, if you want to watch live to the podcast, you can come to twitch.tv/Bruffy1322 every other Saturday, 7 p.m.
Yeah. Please watch us. Our viewer numbers are declining. Our show's gonna get canceled. We're gonna need hashtag don't cancel choking hazard, okay? Look, I'm already in costume. I'm doing what I can.
We're all doing our part.
So vote if you're here on what you think is your choke of the week, and in keeping with the Red Dead Redemption 2 special episode, I had a choke in Red Dead Redemption 2 earlier this morning. It actually was, because it's been a hell of a long day. of streaming and other things. I'm going to put it in the chat for you guys, but I figured I can't win these anymore, these chalk of the weeks, but I figured I would play this as an honorable mention because it's Red Dead Redemption and we didn't have any other Red Dead Redemption clips.
I like the title of this clip. This already sounds good.
What's the
When are we
title?
starting?
What's the title?
When curb boosted goes wrong, of course.
Oh
it is.
yeah, okay. So I've skipped to 20 seconds into it as well because it's just nothing going on until that point.
Okay, so
Okay.
play.
So I'll play it now. So we're just riding along on a horse, basically,
Just
Lasso's
having a
out.
grand old time.
chasing the guy, the Scientology guy.
I love the horse physics in this game so much.
Oh no!
Yo.
I think I've saved it when I actually try to remedy and the mission just fails. It was just
Damn.
that was
That's good.
that
I had something similar happen to me, except I was riding on flat ground. I was riding on flat ground up towards a post office, and my horse just kind of exploded. I don't know if like landmines exist in the game or what, but like there was a sound, like an explosion sound, and my horse. I went flying off my horse, and there was
Maybe a
nobody.
cannon.
There was no enemies around.
Your horse
Nothing.
might have
I
got
was just
spooked.
right next to the. Nope.
You ran up on a
You did
rattlesnake
get
and your horse
spooked after that.
self-destructed.
Yeah, it was weird. I can only assume it's a bug of some description.
I've
yeah,
gotten
the
thrown off
the
my
horse
so many
dismounts are
times.
pretty impressive.
Yeah, the only thing I've had is I got into a horse-on-horse collision once. I haven't had one of those where I fly off a mountain with my horse or anything, because I'm responsible and
Yeah.
a good horse rider.
The
But-
first one that I did, I like came up to a fence and I came up to the corner of it like this, and my horse jumped over one edge of the fence and its front legs got caught on the other, and I just went flying over. It was great. I was like, oh god.
My first chalk in Red Dead Redemption 2 was riding into a tree. That was what I did. I did do that. So every stream of Red Dead so far, I've had at least one chalk in.
Nice.
Vote 4. Everyone wants to vote number 4. See, I have the best chalks. I would win every single time. That's not a
you
good
don't.
thing.
They just want to
It's
get
all
noticed by
biased.
the streamer, okay?
Okay.
It's all bias.
How are we doing on the votes?
Wasn't even that good of a joke.
We have a winner. We have a winner.
Okay, good.
I think
Alright.
a clear winner, and I think I know who it's going to be.
I
'Cause
think
it's gonna
number
be
3 is
my
going to
vote.
win, but my vote
Yes.
actually goes to number 2 because it was the proper chalk.
I vote for 3.
I don't agree that number 2 was a proper joke.
Why? He completely miscalculated the thing that everybody knows on that track and lost
Yeah, but it
70k
shouldn't-
in the process.
It shouldn't be the case anyway. That's like that's just a poor checkpoint placement by Rockstar. I don't think
Well,
that's...
no, it's a checkpoint placement that hasn't grown to accommodate the power of the pariah.
Either way, shouldn't make that a thing that can happen.
Yeah,
But
but he's
the fact-
already
I
had
thought
like
the
2
number
laps.
1 and number
He's
4
already
were
had
just
2 laps.
number 1 and number 3 were just bad luck. I thought 2 was the proper chalk.
Nah,
All
number
right.
3. I'm voting number 3.
Give me the winner. I'm ready to leave.
All right, in third place. In third place with 12% of the vote was choke number 2.
Hey, whoa.
You're all
Bruh strong.
silly.
Yeah, bruh strong. All right.
First
what's one?
place, choke number 3. Final
Hey,
corner
all right,
issues.
we're done. All right,
And
boys.
that
It's
was-
been a
Okay,
show.
calm
We're
down.
done.
Don't stop
Yeah.
being-
We're not
We're
done
done.
yet.
Because
We're
we've
done,
not even
boys.
said who the chokes are by yet. So choke 2
No one
was
cares.
by,
No one
bloody-
cares. We're still
Oh my
playing the game.
Why does anybody watch this with you? Jesus.
All right.
So
The,
Bloody Squirrels
wait,
was
wait.
in last place
There you go.
with the best chalk. Mark Verstappen was in second place, and Cornelius AS was the Choking Hazard podcast Chalk of the Week winner this week. Well done. You're terrible. You fluffed
Yes.
it.
Also, change your crew emblem. You have a Mitsubishi logo. Okay, stop. That's not lore friendly.
That's not law friend.
Stop.
All right, so I think we're done. You guys just want to get
done.
out of here, don't you? Just so you can get
Yeah.
away.
Yeah,
Hey, what's our word? Is our word actually going to be?
We already said it.
Well,
We
we
already
already said it
said
halfway
Yeah, we
through
said
the
it.
stream, so
Yeah,
we're not going to say
yeah.
it now for those who
Yeah,
just skipped to
no.
the end. All right,
Nah,
so
you
we
want
said
a
it
word?
halfway
You got to
through.
watch this, baby.
Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. So these two are going to go play Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm going to go to sleep. Thank you guys for watching. We really appreciate it.
All right, let's do it. I'm leaving. Goodbye.
Bye bye, guys.